Happy February, everyone! It's Nintendo Direct prediction time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Nerd Break video. I am, as always, Joseph the Broseph, and yes, the calendar does say February, and as always, we are looking forward to the next Nintendo Direct, but because it is February, it is obviously getting that much closer to there being a Nintendo Direct, and I think we're getting one this month. So why not jump ahead of Nintendo announcing a Direct and bring directly to you some of my predictions of what I think we will see from a Nintendo Direct this month and the games that they are going to be talking about here in the future. Let's just clear out a few obvious thoughts here for a minute. Obviously, whenever we do get this Nintendo Direct, I believe 100% that they are going to give us release dates for the two games they've already announced, Luigi's Mansion 2 and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I think those are going to get release dates, and I'm thinking those are coming actually a lot sooner than I originally thought, because we have coming this month Splatoon 3 Side Order DLC. That coming this month instead of being in April, to me, in my mind, means that April is now completely free and clear. Luigi's Mansion HD or Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door could technically be hitting that month, but I actually don't think so. And here's the reason why. Either of those Mario-type games coming this close to the Mario and Donkey Kong game would just be too close. April is just too close, so forget it. I think they're going to be coming out in May or June. I don't know which of those 2 months each game will come in. Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door, I'm just going to say it's probably going to come out in May. And Luigi's Mansion, I'm just going to say June. For now, let's take a minute to just examine where Nintendo is at currently. This, I believe, is the absolute last full year that Nintendo is going to be putting games on the Switch. Yes, the Switch 2 is being rumored so much that I don't believe that we're going to see any support on games for the Switch much beyond this year. Now, that's not to say that they won't continue to put some games on the Nintendo Switch, some that may be cross-generational, but I think this is the last year for full-on dedicated support. But also, I do believe that Nintendo is holding off some of their bigger major products, Metroid Prime 4, because they want to keep those games for the next Nintendo console. And that's fine. But it does really indicate that games that are already finished, games that have been rumored for a while to be coming to the Switch, are going to land this year. And that is why I tossed this little guy up at the beginning of the video. Because that's right, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, I think, are going to be coming out this year. And they are going to be our Legend of Zelda games for the Nintendo Switch for this year. Nintendo has been, for the most part, every year releasing a Legend of Zelda game. Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are obvious Wii U ports that need to be put on the Switch. It has been rumored for a long time that Nintendo has had these games finished. This, I think, is the year. I believe these games are probably going to be coming out a little later in the year, probably in September, just to flesh out the catalog for the Switch and give us some more Legend of Zelda goodness, because there's no reason to put this on the next console. And they don't want to put the next big Zelda thing on the Nintendo Switch when we already have just got Tears of the Kingdom. So when talking about Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, are they going to be a double pack, or is it going to be sold separately? I think these games are going to be individually for sale. Yes, Nintendo put Pikmin 1 and 2 together, but those were very basic ports, not HD upgrades. Nintendo's going to want to make a lot of money on these HD ports, and I think they're going to be sold separately. Whether we'll actually get both of them or not, I don't know. And I honestly don't think they're going to add anything to the games. If they charged $60 for a double pack, that would be an amazing deal. I don't think they're doing that. we'll probably get Wind Waker at the very least for probably the modest fee of $50. I think that's probably what Nintendo's going to do. So you might be thinking, is that it? And the answer is no. I think Nintendo is actually going to not drop the Zelda game. I don't think that is going to be the only major announcements from Nintendo out of this Direct. I also believe that we're probably going to get Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Now my gut is really telling me that they're going to be holding on to these till Metroid Prime 4 gets closer, but that also in my mind is not going to be showed off till June at the earliest. So what else do we have that could possibly fill in the gap in July for a Nintendo Switch game? Well, this is where I think we're going to get a little bit quirky with some of our choices, because I think Nintendo is going to give us a deep cut. Now, what do I mean by a deep cut? I mean a game like Kid Icarus Uprising, or Wario Land Shake It, or Rhythm Heaven Fever. Just one of those games, one of those quirky titles that nobody's really expecting, and I think they're going to deliver that to us in either May, June, or July. I would just say July just because I've already filled up May and June. But one of those games, one of those deep cut games, because remember, this is the end of the Switch's life cycle in most people's mind. That means Nintendo has probably got some quirky title that they want to experiment with, because end of the cycle, they want to throw out some things. They want to throw out things to the massive audience that they've built up, and quirky titles that not necessarily everybody would look at, but would fill a niche, and in this case, a rather large niche because how big the install base is for the Switch. Those are the kind of games Nintendo is going to throw at us. We've already seen it with another Code Recollection. That game's pretty niche. I personally love it. Not everybody in the Nintendo audience is going to. But those different kind of games are what we're going to see. Those niche titles that may not attract a huge audience, but because of such a big install base for the Switch, they could go really big in sales numbers because of how many people could potentially buy them. Plus, just to throw it home for why I would pick Rhythm Heaven Fever or Wario Land Shake It for coming back to the Switch, both of those games relied on motion control. And what is the one thing that the Nintendo Switch still has? That's right, motion control. And we don't know if the Nintendo Switch's successor will have it. It probably will, but let's face it, we know nothing. So those two games in particular could see a comeback. I think that's probably going to be our little twist surprise from Nintendo this time around. But let me know your predictions down in the comments section down below. And I'm holding the wrong character. This guy. Because this guy is the big guy here. So let me know your comments down in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo content. But as always, don't forget to take a break from life and nerd out. And I'll see you next time.